all right. There he is, ready to go. How you feeling? You feeling good?
I'm doing good, man. I hope your wife is all right, man. I'm glad to hear that she's doing better.
Yep, she's back at work. She's a rock. She's amazing.
It's awesome,
Uh,
man. Baptist Health, the way to go, man.
Definitely, we go there for everything, bro. It's like we visit that place all the time. We should actually build our house right next to it. That way, we're
You're always close by, right?
right. Man, endoscopies, heart attack, my
Yeah.
daughter being born, broken jaw, broken finger. Wife also had a colonoscopy. Now the bleeding ulcers. She had four of them, bro. Only
Wow.
one was bleeding. The other three weren't active volcanoes, so she's lucky. Only
Wow.
one was an active volcano,
Thank goodness,
so she
man.
got lucky. Yep, got lucky for that. But yep, thanks to the folks at Baptist Health, man. They're always coming through for us, and we certainly need it. That's for sure. Is this team ready to turn the corner against elite teams than they were against Philadelphia, than they were against the Bills? Are they in a better position? Are they healthier? And the other thing, I actually think the players are now understanding the defense more than they ever have because I'm watching guys like David Long and Bradley Chubb play much better football. So, what is the difference from the Miami Dolphins in their third go around against an elite team compared to the first two go arounds? What does Safid Deen say to that?
Yeah. Well, the Dolphins have 8 games under their belt already, Big O. It's going to be, hopefully 7-2 after they play the Chiefs in Germany on Sunday. Look, this was always going to take time to kind of cultivate. This is going to take time for them to see what they're doing right and wrong week in and week out and improving on it each and every week until you get to kind of what may be a finished product, right? No NFL players will always say they're never a finished product. Some teams will win the Super Bowl and still say they're not a finished product, right? When the whole season is said and done. But it was easy to very much worry about the Dolphins defense week one against the Chargers. Yes, right, because of the shootout that they got themselves in, and Tua needed to bail them out at the end there. You could say the same thing about the Bills game, the first Bills game, and how they kind of performed, and you definitely saw the tide turn when they played the Eagles, right? They were blitzing a lot more, probably the most they blitzed all season against a team. And then you have Jalen Ramsey back. You have Xavier Howard, who's potentially going to be back on Sunday as well. Going to be the first time those two guys are playing in a game. Technically, I would like that matchup in every other game except for the one that Travis Kelce's in, because he's going to be roaming the middle of the field pretty much. So this is a Jerome Baker, David Long kind of game for them. Javon Holland should have a good game if he comes back from his concussion as well. But when you look at the injury report, I mean, obviously Rob Hunt is not going to play with the hamstring injury. Mike McDaniel ruled him out today. I believe Rob Jones is going to get that spot at right guard. Whether it's him or Cotton, you'll see. But you're going to have Connor Williams back for sure because he had an extra week of recovery last week. And they're still waiting to see about Teron Armstead, who could potentially play. The Dolphins have a bye next week, right? They're not playing at all. So could be a good game to put Teron out there. He'll have him off, see how he comes out of next week. I don't know if Tehran specifically they would give, the game off and have him come back after the bye. I know Devin A. Chain is going to come back after the bye probably, and maybe you have some other guys come back after that. But having Rob Hunt back after the bye as well is great for the longevity of the rest of the season versus trying to rush him out there for a game this week. So they have to turn a corner, yes, but the real litmus test is this week, Big O. This is a team that actually won the Super Bowl, right? The Bills haven't done it. The Eagles haven't done it. The Chiefs actually have done it. And if you're going to
Right.
make a deep run in the AFC playoffs, you might have to go to Kansas City. If you beat Kansas City this week in Germany, they might have to come to Miami and play you if all goes well. All right. So that's kind of the big thing up on this game right here. Dolphins know you can get home field advantage over the Bills and the Chiefs. Excuse me. They could set you up for a deep playoff run, at least 2 playoff wins. So it's a lot riding on this game, more so than elite teams, this and that, more so than being 1/17th of the schedule, as Mike McDaniel likes to say. This could set you up for success in the postseason if you come out with a win on Sunday.
Yeah, I was having fun with Cam on this, and I was telling the listeners, the child psychology by McDaniel is cute. Oh, if you win, you're going to the Super Bowl. If you don't, you can't beat elite teams. Well, that's the reality. Whether he wants to make it or not,
Yeah.
that's be the reality. And I think most players aren't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. They know deep down inside, this is the litmus test, bro. If you guys are ever going to be, it's what I told Cam and what I told the listeners before, and I'll tell you. I've been around for a long time, dude. When I was either covering the team with Shula, which was the back end of his career, or watching it throughout the years, when a great team came to town, it wasn't a litmus test. Why? Because the Dolphins were also a great team in those days. Mm-hmm. And so the Dolphins were the litmus test more often than not for everybody else when they went out there. So you want to get back to being royalty. You know what I mean? That's kind of what the Washington Redskins and the Dolphins used to be in this league. They used to be the royalty that when they went to your town, you knew you were in for a world of trouble. If you even just to win that game, it was going to be tough. And in order for you to get back to that, these are the games you have to start winning often.
Yeah, definitely.
Often.
Yeah, definitely. Look, this Dolphins team, I tell you this before, this season has definitely helped their record out a lot. But for the past 3 seasons, they've been a 500 team, more or less, right? A game here, a game there. They've probably lost as many games as they won. And you don't know what the reasons are for that, whether it's talent, whether it's lack of execution, whether it's lack of an offense with former offensive coordinators, stuff like that. And yeah, there's so many things, injuries. This team has lost as many games as it's won the past couple seasons, and this year being 6-2 right now, you're second in the division. You have the tiebreaker with the Ravens and the Jaguars, who have the same record. The Chiefs have a little bit of an edge because of I think conference play or whatever it is, but you win this game over the Chiefs, you have the game, you have the tiebreaker over them. That's going to be instrumentally huge, right? But at the end of the day, too, we have to realize what this Dolphins team is, right? They kind of get big-headed over small-time wins, and if it's not them, it's the fan base, that's for sure. We are kind of very excited about the Dolphins whenever they win against anybody, right? But when they lose against big-time teams, you kind of really see what the team is at that point, right? They don't get physical, right? Sometimes they get out-physicaled, which is not a great sign for a team that wants to win. And sometimes either Tua doesn't show up or sometimes the defense doesn't show up. Or they're playing from behind and don't have enough time to come back, like what happened in the Eagles game.
Or the coach doesn't have the answers.
Yes. And Mike McDaniel sometimes hasn't had the answers. In the Eagles game specifically, when they played the Chargers last year and the 49ers.
Yeah.
Bills. Oh, look at us. We're
beginning of the year.
No, I mean they've been getting their ass kicked by the Bills for the past how many years since Josh Allen's been there, right?
Now,
so
just like I tell you that I think the defense now is playing, it's at its best right now to perform. Where I think the guys are understanding it and they're coming together, health wise. Also, I think right now this team might be better suited to beat the Kansas City Chiefs than they were for the Eagles and the Bills right now. I kind of look at it that way. But at the same time, when I look at this team overall, it's time, dude. You have the best quarterback you've had since Marino. You have the best front office you've had, I think, since the freaking 70s. Okay, that's how good I think this front office is. And I think you have the best head coach you've had since Shula, and I just think it's time now. Now you have practically everything you need. It's about putting it together. And brother, when are you going to do it?
Yeah, it's got to be now. Look, the Dolphins window is this season and next season. That's it.
Right.
That's it. You don't know how much longer it's going to be past that. And, it wasn't definitely last year because they were barely above 500, right? This is the window. You have Tyreek, you have Jalen Ramsey, you have Teron Armstead, whatever is left of him. You're going to have Connor Williams at the height of his game. You got Rob Hunt and Austin Jackson at the height of their games right now. Tua is the best he's ever played in his life outside of when he first started at Alabama, right? You got an offense that's explosive, that's hard for everybody to stop. And you got a defense that's developing, man. You got a defense that's figuring out its scheme with 2 crazy cornerbacks. I mean, I would not be surprised if Xavier Howard starts making a lot of picks the rest of the year because of the fact that they're throwing to one side of the field that Jalen Ramsey's not on. I wouldn't be surprised to see, the D line get a couple more sacks too because
They're
of
covered.
the fact that they're covered. Yeah, Jalen Phillips is coming home. It's you missed him a little bit in the Bills game for sure, but he's the key. Jalen Phillips is the key on D line for me. Just as Jerome Baker and David Long are important in the middle of the field, Javon on the back end, and the two corners. Everybody else has to play their role and do their part, including Bradley Chubb and Christian Wilkins on that defense. And then
Yeah.
on offense, Tua has to be the point guard, not the point guard, the point guard.
Yeah. No, he has for sure. Let me ask you, when it comes to um the coaching on the offensive line. By the way, that's all also the best it's been in decades.
Yeah,
Decades. Because you've developed a starting unit and you've developed depth now. You're going into this game now with two backup guards, and you don't necessarily feel like it's such a disadvantage anymore like it used to be with your starters and then for sure with your backups. Here's Kendall Lamb, who will now sit down and has been marvelous, filling in for Armstead. When do people like writers and people around the country start talking about the folks that are coaching and developing the offensive line for the Miami Dolphins? Because I think overall they have been one of the keys to their success this year. From Butch Berry all the way through McDaniel and Frank Smith in between, I think this group has been absolutely marvelous.
we can start right now, Big O. Start right now. Look, it's this is Mike McDaniel's scheme, and you remember when he first got hired, he was like, "I want to see I like the talent that we have here. I want to see what they can do." And a lot of us were like, "What? You like this talent here? Didn't know what you had, right?" And it's how they play offensive line. You're not just pushing people so they don't rush past you, right? Or you're not just trying to, run a little bit in the run game. It's running side to side. You know what I'm saying? It's going diagonally. It's actually, running together, having the zone scheme, multiple guys moving at once, offensive linemen getting to the second level and still blocking, and Jalen Waddle trying to find a way behind some guys. Raheem Mostert trying to find his way behind guys so they can keep, breaking off really long runs too. Then we had Devin A-Chain come out of nowhere like a lightning bolt, right? And was almost better, if not, than the Christian McCaffrey, the best running back of the whole league when he
Yeah.
was on the field, right? Because of how amazing the holes were opened.
Not quite as good as Dalvin Cook in New York, but almost.
Yeah. Not as quite as good. Yeah. With the Colts, not as good as him too. But it is what it is, man. Look, they've picked up some players. They've made some right decisions. It's about damn time too, man. It's about damn time for all of them. Look, for me, I'm picking the Dolphins in this one, and I really think out of everything going on, the fact that the Dolphins got to Germany as when they did is going to be the factor. Every other team that left on a Monday, for those London games has won. The Jaguars won twice. They stayed in London for the second game, but they got there early for that win. And I believe the Ravens also got there early. Then the Titans got the win as well too. So I'm not sure what happened, where this logic came from. I saw somebody tweet something about F1, the F1 schedule, and how they spend the whole week in the city that they're in to adjust, which is great because, when the F1 comes to Miami here, every first week of May, these guys are here on Monday and they don't race till Sunday. And they need to qualify Friday too. So you think about all the events that they have to do and things like that. They finally get adjusted in the week. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami's experience with Formula One has definitely helped them and their doctors or whoever is figuring out the logistics of things into why they left. When they did Monday night, I'm sure some players were probably upset that they had to maybe do Halloween, a little bit of Halloween, and couldn't spend it with their kids on the actual holiday Tuesday night. We saw the Chiefs do that. The Chiefs spent Halloween with their families. They left Thursday, like last night. Today is Friday. So they left Thursday night and got to Germany probably around noon, 1 o'clock time Friday, right? I saw them post this morning around 7, 8 a.m. that they just got to Germany. So think about that from a perspective. I mean, Joe Shad is there, posted this morning. This is my third day in Germany. I finally feel okay again, right? These guys are going from Friday to Saturday to a game Sunday, and you don't know what kind of adjustment their body is going to make after making that long
Oh
flight
no,
there too.
it won't adjust. It won't adjust. I
It won't
traveled.
adjust at all. It won't adjust at all. And that little bit of edge is,
Yeah,
is is all the Dolphins need. It's all the Dolphins need, and it could change their whole season. I don't blame the Chiefs for staying home either, man. Like they spent Halloween with their families. Yeah, they already won 2 Super Bowls too, right? It's not like they're on a climb for something too. I can see why they made the decisions they made, and why you won't probably hold it against them a little bit, but. They better come ready to play too because they looked really bad in that Denver game. Mahomes was sick. They got a division opponent that got the best of them. I really think the Dolphins being in Germany this week gives them an edge. I just really hope they take advantage of it because we saw them go to California for 2 weeks last week and stink it up last year, right?
yeah.
So
By the way,
it's got to be up on them to win.
when I go to Vegas or LA, it usually takes me a couple of days. That's 3 hours. This is
Yeah,
5 hours.
that's 3. This is way more than that.
It takes me a few days to really. And so if you get there on a Friday, you're not going to be adjusted by Sunday because you're playing Sunday at 8:30 because they're in Kansas City time. So that's another hour of it. Is it 1 or 2 hours that Kansas City's different from one? So they're playing an hour earlier also with their body clocks.
Yeah. So imagine playing a game 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday.
6-hour change for them, not a 5-hour change.
Yeah.
6 hours.
The Dolphins better pounce on it. They better pounce on it. They better jump on them early and take advantage of it. And I think there's going to be a lot of talk about the Dolphins this, Dolphins that, but I think that's going to be the edge for sure is them getting into Germany a lot earlier.
Well, let's hope so, man. Find a way. And by the way, the other thing I think that the Dolphins are going to, and this is crap stuff on the side. This is just fun stuff on the side that I'm talking about. The Dolphins are going to end up winning themselves more German fans over than KC did because they were there the whole week. They're doing press conferences talking in German. McDaniel is obviously McDaniel. You know what I mean? So I think that the German fans, some of them are going to say, "Hey, these Dolphins are pretty cool. They came here, they acclimated to us. They even took some time to learn our language." I think the Dolphins are going to earn some extra fans in Germany. I'm just saying.
You know what else, Big O? Like literally everybody in Europe is going to leave on Sunday thinking Tua Tagovailoa is the best quarterback in the NFL instead of Patrick Mahomes.
I can live with that.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I can live with that.
A whole part of the world is going to think Tua Tagovailoa is the greatest quarterback in the NFL. And it needs to come home here in America and have that thought too. He's an MVP favorite for sure. But look, this is a big opportunity for Tua. We saw he cooked the Chiefs the last time they played. And this poor guy had Lynn Bowden and Jakeem Grant and old, new Patriots players, Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki playing with him. Like no running back, right? No run game. I forgot what coordinator it was on. I don't know if it was 1 or 2. Chan Gailey. I don't know who the coordinator was at the time. They had a bad special teams blunder that killed the game there. They were down 30-10 in the fourth quarter. This was before Mike Gesicki knew how to do the gritty, so he just ran back to the bench when the comeback happened. But look, Tua played pretty decently in that game. 28 for 48, but there were a lot of drops in that game. All right, there are no guys on the Dolphins team right now outside of maybe Waddle who catches with his body. He's going to drop some balls here. I think Waddle's going to have a big game. I think Tyreek is going to cook these guys, especially if they're going to be laid over like they are with the travel, right? And I think Mahomes and Kelsey might have a little bit. I don't know if Kelsey really takes off in this game. I can see him doing that, but I can also see them just really being kind of gassed in this one.
By the way, did Waddle buy bad gloves?
Did he buy what gloves?
Bad gloves? Like
I don't know. He needs to get some new ones. He needs to get some new ones.
Yeah, bro. he needs to have like stick them all over his body or something.
Yeah.
You cannot be an elite receiver by dropping that many passes. I'll call him a very good receiver until he catches passes on a consistent basis. Then I'll give him the elite label. But he ain't getting elite from me until he stops dropping passes.
That's fine. Jalen Waddle. That's fine. Jalen Waddle is one of my favorite kids on the team. He
great.
catches the ball with his body a little bit more. But there's obviously some situations where he needs to be a lot better and just kind of, be in the moment and just secure it in and then go run crazy.
Yes. As Aronde Gadsden would always say to me, see the point.
See the
Grab
point, huh?
fat. See the point, grab the fat. That's how it
Yeah.
says. See the point, grab the fat. That was the saying that Aronde Gadsden had to me. But Aronde Gadsden had, hands of, they were like, I don't know.
He had humongous hands, and he's a
And
humongous person.
and flypaper too.
Yeah.
Like he didn't drop passes.
What was he?
He didn't
6'4"?
Huh?
How tall was he?
6'3", 6'4". Yeah.
Yeah. When I see him at Aquinas, I think the last couple of years too, you just see the towering size. And you're like, all right, yeah, this guy was definitely a player for sure.
Yeah. He couldn't run. Couldn't run.
Yeah.
Couldn't run. No.
You got to go. You run a little bit of catch. That's all.
He had no separation, but
Block and catch.
He was very smart. He used his body to shield from defenders on short passes. And then on deep passes, there were 50-50 balls that were really 80-20. You weren't going to. He had hands like have you shaken hands with him ever? Like they're like,
he took my whole arm almost.
They're banana bundles. Like like a long ass banana. That's like his finger when he shakes hands. Your hand disappears. But they were also clutch. Like he caught everything, bro. He had a gift of that. He knew how to use his body, and he could catch everything. And he had no speed, none whatsoever. That's the amazing part about it. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, he was pretty special for his skill set, man. No doubt about it. What do you got going on in the USA today, so folks can check you out, my friends?
Yeah, I just wrote a story today about Messi and InterMiami. They're gonna have a friendly next Friday against NYCFC to celebrate the 8th. I forgot how to say it. Balón.
Balón.
I said it right. You helped teach me. You helped teach me the last time. Remember? Balón de Oro. They're gonna celebrate the trophy. Have a friendly. They were supposed to be in China this week, but that got canceled. So I wrote a little bit about that. It's a Football Podcast is out. We recap the Raiders firing this week. I told you Josh McDaniels was going to go, Big O. I told you he was going to go, and he definitely got sent packing. And, man, I'm on a late start today, dude. I was up late watching Wemby last night. He absolutely torched the Suns. I don't know if you watched that game, Big O. This kid is special.
I did not. Yeah. Wemby definitely has skill set. I do worry about his skinny-ass body.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He has so much control of his body. Dude, Devin Booker tied the game at 116 with about 6 minutes left. Wemby came in and knocked off 10 straight, and including a dagger 3 with like 4 minutes left, dude. This kid is special, man. He's fucking good. He's good. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. You're not really on. You're not on anything corporate owned, so you're good, bro. It's all good. Follow him on Twitter at Safid_Deen. Better yet, catch his work there at the USA Today and the podcast too. Getting it done. Safid, as always, thank you, my friend. We will talk post game.
Bright and early.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one, man.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir. When it comes to Baptist Health, the staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is comprised of highly specialized, board-certified, and fellowship-trained orthopedic physicians, supported by advanced practice providers and athletic trainers, all of whom play a vital role in the patient's experience. And take it from me, take it from my wife and my daughter, we've all been patients at baptisthealth.net/ortho.